Coffee out day!
Guides in the Gulf.
Well, we made it, mate. Out to the islands, Wiyibi Fishing and Wilderness Lodge, with one very special guest today, the Emperor of North Island.
Emperor, Ayatollah.
Well, I drop a few ranks when my wife's here, but usually I like to be referred to as the supreme leader, but not when she's here.
Perfect. So we have Brett Travis here on the podcast. If you've ever visited King Ash Bay, you would have crossed paths with Brett, I'm sure. You would have had a beer with him down at the bar or something like that, or even better if you've been out here to the islands.
Yeah, well, we've been out here for 10 years now, so if you're a recent traveller to King Ash, you would have probably either passed the lodge or come across me at some stage in the bar. I sort of haunt there a little bit.
So just give us a bit of background, Brett, about yourself, mate. Where do you come from? And
Mate, I'm originally from Melbourne. I was down there for 30 years. I had a sort of civil engineering business down there and retired into King Ash Bay. Sort of travelled Australia a bit during the years, and finished up here, and had a year or so in King Ash Bay, and then stumbled across Weeby, and we sort of stitched up a deal with the traditional owners, and we've been the rest is history. Really, we've been here for 10 years now, and loving it and really enjoying it. Yeah, it's a good place to be, and it's a great time of life. Yeah.
when was your first trip up north, or because you did a bit of time in North Queensland when you were a young fella, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I did when I was a young fella. I lived in Cairns for 12 or so months, and then finished out at Kawanyama in the Gulf, and I think I sort of travelled the Gulf for a little bit. I was in Kawanyama for 6 months over there. I was driving a grader, and when I first got there, I couldn't wait to get out of the place, and then after I was there for 6 months, I didn't want to leave. So I really enjoyed it, and I sort of travelled the Gulf probably pretty well ever since. Every chance I got, I sort of came here round the Roper, around the top, Nullarbor, and settled here in King Ash. Yeah. Yeah.
Before you started coming to King Ash Bay each year, you used to go out the Lemon, didn't you?
Yeah, spent a lot of time up the Lemon. We came down. One of the first trips on this side of the Gulf. We came down Christmas time, and it hadn't rained. We went into the Lemon, and we fished for a day. Then we went to leave, and it hadn't rained. And when you come out of the Lemon, there's the Cox River, and when we left, it was running 1.5 metres deep. You couldn't get over it. And so we thought, we go the other way, go back to the way we came, back to Manaranka, and the Towns River, that was running 1.5 metres deep. We couldn't get back that way, so we went in there, and Stevie and Patsy, they looked after us royally for 10 or 12 days. So and we couldn't get out. We had to get back to Melbourne, so they took us up the river after 10 days. The boys from Nathan River Station, they came down and got us. We hired a plane and flew back to Katherine, and then a car to Katherine, and then get back to Melbourne to get the business going again, and then come back at Easter time and retrieve the car and the boat. So,
Bit of an interesting trip, mate.
Mate, it was 24 hours from when we left Nathan River to get back to standing in my kitchen at Melbourne, and I'd had a holiday, mate, and I thought I'd work for an extra 12 months in that 10 days. I was shattered.
Oh, it does happen though. So you hadn't had any rain locally, but it had rained inland a bit. And
didn't have a drop. And when we came in over the Towns River, it was barely 4 inches deep. And then we went back there 48 hours later. It was running 1.5 meters. You would not have driven a grader across it. It was so no. Stevie looked after us royally. We didn't have any grog. We didn't have any food. We didn't really know what we were doing back in those days. And they looked after us really well. So that was my introduction to this side of the Gulf. Yeah. It was.
So since I've known you around here, like you haven't really been a barra fisherman. You're usually out here at the islands. Yeah. Up there though, was mostly barra fishing. I was keen.
Yeah, I was keen.
Okay.
And it's a really good barra, the Lemon River for barra. It's a good shallow. It heats up, and the barra they just go off up there Easter time, end of the wet, and they have a runoff up there. We don't really have it here.
Yeah, that's right.
So much, but up there it's the runoff. It's you can just bag out, just catch fish all day, and big barra too. So,
what was your first introduction to King Ash Bay then?
Well, after that, I used to come up as often as I could, and then I used to finish up. I kept a car in Darwin, and I kept a boat in Manaranka. And if I couldn't get into the Lemon, I would come down here. So it was either Easter time, get in here, depending on how severe the wet season was.
So King Ash Bay was your backup plan?
Yeah. I used to come here if I couldn't get into the Lemon. So and I'd stay here until I could get into there. So, yeah, which was all right. It's not a bad consolation prize, really. So.
Yeah, that's it. So I suppose, fairly different though as well, like coming to King Ash Bay instead of over there. Like King Ash Bay, you've got all the sort of mod cons and, power and water and all that sort of stuff's fairly easy, and, a bar and, you can get food and stuff there and store and everything like that. If you're going over that, like that Lemon side, you've sort of got to take everything with you, hey? Yeah,
pretty well. They got a small, from the, I haven't been there for a long time, but the last time I was there, they had a small shop that sell, just not very much bread, ice, buy cigarettes and stuff like that, but not much. So you've got to take everything you want, you've got to take in there. So.
Yeah, just the basic stuff. So
yeah.
So what made you sort of pull up at King Ash Bay then? So you like you said, this is sort of your backup plan initially, and then you ended up bloody moving up here and spending a fair bit more time here. Yeah. I think you still had the business down south, and Evie, your lovely wife, was running that down in Melbourne, but you sort of spent a fair bit of time here before you actually moved here permanently.
Yeah, no, I had a caravan. I used to come up more and more, and then eventually I just finished up not going home, and then I thought, well, I've had enough of Melbourne and the business, so we sold up and decided to come here, and then so that was pretty well it really. So
you ended up buying a house in King Ash. It was. And then you've transformed that. Anyone that's been to your place will see that, especially that had seen it before. Like you've turned it into a bit of a palace there now, mate, on the river.
Yeah, no, we had a fair bit of budget overrun on there. We thought we'd get it out of it for not very much money, but we thought, oh no, we need this, we need that, and we finished up with a bit of a spend on that. But it's a very comfortable house now. So we enjoy that right on the river. So yeah, it's been very, very good.
And you bought that off the previous operators?
As it turned out, yeah, they were the guys that used to own. I think it was Paradise Tours here.
Paradise Bay Fishing Charters or something. Paradise Bay Tours or something like that. They
operated here, I believe, for 15 years.
Yeah.
So and then he tragically got killed, and it sat here for 7 or 8 years. No one did anything. It sort of fell into disrepair for that amount of time.
Yep.
And then we got hold of it, and anyway, we've done a fair bit of work on it since then. So and as it turned out, the woman that lived here for that time owned a house that we were living in. So that's just coincidence.
Yeah. So 10 years ago, you sort of started up. When you first started, it was pretty basic when you first got here, mate. What was your introduction into the place? Because like you said, it hadn't been operating for quite a few years, and you hadn't been here whilst it was operating.
No, I came past, and then I was fully retired, and I thought, I'll just live in King Ash Bay, and played golf and went to the pub and then I thought, no, if this is retirement, it just wasn't quite enough, and I used to go past here fishing, and anyway, I walked up one day, and the doors were hanging off, and it was all just a ruin. And I started to make a few inquiries, and that led me to Denise, who had the know, and through her, we were able to establish the traditional owners, and then cobble up a deal with those guys. So so it worked out pretty well, which sort of gave me, oh God, another job.
It would have been a big job too, like you said, when you first got here and you first sort of struck up the deal and started getting things operational, like the amount of work that you must have put into the place to get it back off the ground again.
Oh yeah, no, there was a lot here to do. It was all basically here, but it had been so neglected. The doors were hanging off, the toilets were all broke, everything was. Anyway, so but we just set about doing a little bit every day, and now it's up and running. It's been very rewarding.
So for people that don't know, where exactly is Wiyibi? Obviously, we've been here plenty of times over the last decade, but for people that don't know that are listening or watching and have never been to King Ash Bay or never been to the territory even, whereabouts exactly is Wiyibi Lodge?
Well, if you've got the Sir Edward Peeler group, there's 5 main islands here. We're on North Island. We're 3/4 of the way up on the west side of North Island, and it's the middle island of the whole group. So if you look on your map, and Weeby Point is actually marked on the lodge is named after Weeby Point, which is marked on the map. So yeah, it's not that hard to find if you've got a map.
So if you're coming from King Ash Bay, if you've got to King Ash Bay and you wanted to get out here, you've sort of got to go either down out the MacArthur River or out the Carrington Channel.
Yep.
If you come out the MacArthur, you come around the top of Centre Island.
Yep. Around the bottom of Centre, up the side, come around the top, then come between Skull and North Island. Come in that I believe it's called Johnson Channel here.
Yep.
And then you keep going through there, and you'll see a flag flying on the beach. And that's Weeby.
That's Weeby. Or if you come from the Carrington the other way around, you come across the top of Southwest Island and then up between...
up Centre Channel, I think that's called. Yeah, across George's Channel. And hopefully George will look after you. He's not too angry.
It does get a bit rough through there. Doesn't it?
It can do. It certainly can do. You get the wind against tide there sometimes, and the water just stands straight up. So sort of pick your day going across that way. But and the same thing, you come in the bottom between Skull and North, and that's it.
So it obviously varies for the size of your boat and speed of your boat and what the weather's like. But what would you reckon, an hour and a half-ish?
Oh, you sort of want to probably work on 2
hours.
Really, by the time you make your way down to Carrington, come across and get to here. Yeah, an hour 45 too is probably pretty well lit. So
obviously on a real good day you can do it in probably an hour and a quarter or something like that.
Oh,
if it's glass off, but
just
depending on which way you're going and what sort of boat you got. But like we were here yesterday, and a fellow went past in a 3.9. Yeah, he'd come from King Ash Bay, and so so you don't need a massive boat to get out here, but bringing all the gear and stuff out here, like when you first sort of got it going again. Like, how did you get all the stuff out here? Because I mean, you are a long way from town, and it's it's all by water.
Oh yeah, no, we just had the blue boat. We would just load that up. You would not believe it's been a workhorse, that boat, and we just brought everything else on that. And in the later years, we managed to buy a barge from the guys in King Ash there, and that's made life a lot easier. We can carry a fair bit of gear on the barge, and that's made our life a lot easier. So that was a real milestone. So, but in the old days, oh man, we still, the poor old blue boat. It's,
so the blue boat you're talking of, we're looking at it now across the bay there. You've got it anchored out the front there in the little cove there. That's what's it, about a 6.5 metre or?
Yeah, I think 6.5.
6.5 metre. It's a trail craft.
Trail craft, yeah, indestructible. If you ever come across a boat and you want to buy a good boat and it's a trail craft, mate, just buy it because mate, if I haven't broken it in half, they're indestructible.
She's done a few trips up and down the river, mate, out here.
Man, it's done a lot of miles.
You've even taken that from here over to Groote Eylandt, haven't you?
We used to do the bill fishing comp in Groote Eylandt for about 3 or 4 years in a row. Then we went from Groote Eylandt, we went round to Nullumboy. We went to the Hole in the Wall, come around past the Gulf, past the Roper, come back. I think on that particular trip we did 1,600 k's on the water, and just lived in the back of the boat. It was that was a great trip. It was a great trip. I'd like to do something like that again.
So by water from King Ash Bay.
Yep.
All the way up to
the Hole in the Wall. On the way back, call back into Groote, Nummawah, go into to Roper Bar, over to Beatrice Island at the Lemon. Come back, call into Rosie, and then come back to here. 1,600 k's on the water in about I don't know, 15 days or something like that. And
wouldn't be too many people who've done that trip.
No, it was a great trip. It really, really was.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, no, the Hole in the Wall is definitely worth a look at. It really is. So.
And that's way up that's the Wessels, isn't it?
I think it is. Yeah, the Wessels Island. Yeah, there's just this. It's probably a 50 metre wide channel, and the tide it just howls through there. It's just you need to do 4,000 revs to go anywhere because of what it's. Yeah, no, it's like a rapid, and then it goes from 40 metres deep on the sounder, then it jumps up to 10, and the water it's like a waterfall that comes up from underneath you.
Yeah,
and the water's there, and then back here it's 2 metres higher.
Yeah,
and it's just coming up from under you, holds your boat up.
It sounds almost like the horizontal falls.
I think it's very similar. Yeah, very, very similar, I believe.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, so that was a great trip.
Yeah, okay.
So you went up there a few times. You went with old Val. Anyone that went to King Ash Bay years ago. Old Val that used to live there. She used to do a fair bit of fishing out wide.
Yeah, no, she was a great girl. Old Val. We went up there, and the very first trip we did for the bill fishing competition at Groote Eylandt. At Groote Eylandt, yeah, we got the Richard Cranium Award. We managed to, for somehow or other, I don't know, we blamed each other, but we managed to put 200 litres of diesel in my boat, and we're off for the big shotgun start at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we probably went 30 or 50 metres, and of course, 4-stroke outboards don't like diesel. They don't like it. And boom, big cloud of white smoke. And I thought the thing had blown up. And oh man, we were in all sorts of bother. And anyway, we found out. So anyway, it wasn't too bad. We got it on. We borrowed a trailer. The boys at Groote looked after us. They looked after us royally. They're great blokes up there, the whole lot of them. And anyway, we pulled the boat out, drained the diesel out, and then we put the proper fuel in it. It made a huge difference. And then we went out and so for our efforts, they gave us the Richard Cranium. There's a crew from Borroloola, the bloody Groote Eylandt Dickhead Award. So that was our introduction to Groote Eylandt. So.
Oh, lovely.
But anyway, so we fished there for a few years, and in the end we didn't win it. The last trip we did, we didn't win it, but we got second. So it was a long way from the Richard Award.
Bloody hell. So and you're going up there, you're chasing sailfish or billfish?
Yeah, sailfish and stripy marlin, black marlin. Yeah, no, they're very, very keen on their fishing up there. They're all good guys. They catch a heap of them up there. So
well, we've spoken about it a bit, and there's been a bit of stuff in the rod locker in our Facebook group. Guys that have stayed here, and there's some good photos on Facebook there of the guys coming out here, and they've caught some great billfish, some black marlin.
Yep. Yeah, well, Jenny from Kalangadoo, she caught one the year before last, a good marlin. And the guys at the very end of the season last year, they caught a magnificent fish. I think, it would have been, I'm not sure, 3.5 metres long or something.
Bloody hell!
Big stripy marlin, just at the north here, up at North Rock. So
yes, these people weren't even targeting.
No, they were trawling for mackerel and banging and caught these billfish. There's been a few caught here now. They
seem to be coming in a fair bit. Like you hearing more and more of it, of fish of that calibre getting caught here.
Look, I think so. I think if you wanted to target billfish, I think and fish for them properly the way that they do at Groote, you'd pick them up. No worries, sailfish, because we're not that far from Groote Eylandt here. So, and they're there in big numbers up there. They catch 300-400 and tag and release 300 or 400 billfish a year at Groote, and it's only 150 k's. The bottom of Groote's only 150 k's from here, so you would think it's not that far for billfish.
And you're saying like people call them at North Rock. So North Rock from here, for people that don't know that haven't been here, North Rock's only about a 10-minute boat ride from here.
Oh, look, it'd be
literally just around the corner.
Probably 5 k's.
Yeah,
it's not far. And then and you're out. We get all the pelagics coming down, the tuna and the mackerel. They sweep through the top of the island group here. Yeah, plenty of them when they're in, and they're in at the moment. So the boys, the last group were here. They caught some good mackerel, 1.2, 1.1 mackerel, 7-8 kilos. So
we went out yesterday afternoon for a little search. We were looking for birds working. We unfortunately didn't find any birds working, but. Like obviously, we've been out here heaps of times when they have, but we're hopefully going to. Well, I was going to hopefully bring back a tuna for you. So I know that one of your famous quotes from one of my videos was when you're cooking tuna. Oh, you're a savant. Some people can play the piano. I can cook tuna.
Well, that's it. I think everyone's got a talent. Mine's fairly limited, but it's all right if you're hungry.
Oh, bloody hell, yeah. Well, you're a bit of a famous cook, mate, around the place. You do some great tucker here. I know you've introduced me to a few different feeds with tuna a couple of different ways. One cooked way, and then there's sashimi. You showed me how to do the sashimi here, and that's a cracker.
No, that's not too bad at all. I don't mind that. You get the tuna and slice them up nice and thin, and a bit of wasabi and a bit of pickled ginger. Just chill it in the fridge, and it goes down all right. It really does.
He knows how to cook a mud crab too.
Yeah, mud crab. Actually, some of the best mud crab I've eaten has been out here, mate. I think it sort of goes with the territory, though. You're just out here in this beautiful spot overlooking, The massive big bay here, and especially now at high tide, that's crystal, blue turquoise coloured water, nice white sandy beaches. I think it all plays into it, doesn't it?
Oh, look, it does, and we actually did a big cook up here the other night. Young boy supplied us a heap of mud crabs, and we got a couple of friends here for him and his dad from Brisbane. And old Neddy, he eats the shell and all. He just he just goes for it. He eats everything. He loves it. But no, they're not a bad feed, the old mud crab.
And what did we have last night, mate? That was pretty special too.
We had the Gunyanas, a secret North Queens or North Island recipe, not done by me, but done by another fellow. The fish cakes, they weren't too bad at all.
The hamster, mate. Yeah, he's been here plenty of times. He's done a fair bit of work out here for you.
The hamster's done some great work out here for us. An electrician, he's kept the lights on for us, and he's been here for many years, kicking around the place, and he's got the secret fish cake recipe, which is almost to die for, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure if we can see him in the back of the shot. If we can, I'll bring an arrow up. He's actually in the hammock.
Yeah, out in the background.
I can see him from here, but I'm not sure if you can see him in the shot.
Yeah, well, he should be exhausted. He spent most of the day yesterday in the kitchen doing
and this morning too.
Yeah. Those Gunyanas, they're good for breakfast as well.
No, we had Gunyanas this morning. There's still a heap left, so we haven't finished with them just quite yet. So.
Good stuff. Do you need another beer, mate? Another beer.
Yeah, look, why not?
You want a beer, Mikey?
Oh, yes, please, mate. I'll just play some background music.
Yeah, okay. How's that? Am I making any sense?
Yeah, mate.
Okay. Anything usable, though?
Yeah. I'll probably just leave this in. I won't even cut this bit out, mate. We're all flowing along nicely, I think.
Oh, that's good.
Ash is just using some of the facilities there.
No, that's
here
good.
at Weeby.
You actually need someone to drive it too, don't you? Like you do a very good job of that. Like actually, just kicking it along. That's thanks.
Yeah, he's the brains of the operation on the beauty.
Yeah, because I'd sit down like a stunned mullet. What are you got to talk about? Got nothing to talk about. And as soon as you prompt me, you go, you start off on a story and away you go. So,
thanks, mate. Yeah, so we probably sort of just went to get beers, and so we're in the middle house at the moment.
Yep.
This used to be, when you first got here, this was the only accommodation that you had for customers.
Yeah, well, this was, and then there's another house exactly the same as this down the bottom. We used to live in that house, and then a couple of years ago, I built a house up on the hill up there. So Evie and we camp up there now, and we have accommodation. We have two houses with accommodation, so we can look after 20 people. We can cater for. Mm-hmm. Now, so it's 10 with beds for 10 beds in each house. So,
but if you have bigger groups, like you'd be happy to take them still, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Brett loves paying customers.
Just come on down.
So, who's your main sort of clientele? Would you say?
Oh, look, we seem to get people from all over. It's mostly a lot of people from the eastern states, but we've had people here from Western Australia. We sort of get them from all over, mostly, and mostly working sort of fellows, but farmers, tradies, pretty well everybody. So
predominantly sort of groups of blokes, though, like 8 to 10 blokes.
Yeah,
at a time.
Well, they get themselves organised, come here 3 or 4 boats, come here for 7 to 10 days, and get out there fishing, come here and have a bit of a cook, and generally have a good time. So. Yeah, no, I help them out. Now that I've got the barge. If you come out for 7 or 10 days, I generally can't carry enough supplies, fuel and stuff like that. So on the barge, I can bring plenty of fuel, anything you can't carry on your boat. So, and then we put
grog.
All your grog, yeah, there's plenty of that. And then we put anchor the barge out in the harbour there, and that you got your 700 or 800 litres of fuel on there. You tie your boat up of an afternoon, fill up with fuel, and it's all cool bananas. So
it's all very simple and easy.
It is. It's better than the old days and everyone trying to bring their fuel out in jerry cans and all
carting
that sort
them
of
up and down the beach.
Yep. No, that's those days are gone. So
we've done plenty of that over the years, mate.
Mate, we certainly have.
I know we've had a few interesting trips out here with a few different people, mate. We've had we had who did we start off with? we had Topper Down Under a couple of times, I think. Brian and Penny from Topper Down Under.
They're very nice. Very nice. Yeah. No, they came and I think we hosted them fairly well.
So we went back when I was doing fishing charters. I brought quite a few different groups out.
You did.
Fellas that didn't have boats or anything like that. You'd bring their gear out for them, and I'd bloody bring the fellas out, take them fishing, and then you'd look after them, cook them a feed, cook them in famous mud crabs. Or
I remember one story you went round and you were telling me you've done 300 kilometres around the islands, couldn't give a bait away all day, anchored in the channel just in front of the lodge here, and landed on a patch of goldies and bagged out on the 11th hour.
Yeah.
I can hear you scream.
About 200 metres from where we're sitting now. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. Yeah, saved the day.
Yeah, unbelievable, eh? You get days like that though. But it is nice out here, mate. You get out and you get a nice day, especially you can go out around the top of the islands there, mate. It's beautiful. Like we always refer to it as the Whitsundays of the Northern Territory.
Yeah, no, that's very right. That's true. Yep.
And you don't get sick of it, do you?
No, I don't.
No,
I don't.
You come here all the time, and every time we get here, and you sit down here with a beer and look out, you're like, oh, it's just paradise.
Yeah, something about looking at blue water. It's like a fire. You never get sick of looking at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
No.
So, and that's probably a good segue into like, even if people aren't overly keen on fishing or aren't super keen fishing people, they can come out and still have a look around. You've got like Paradise Bay just around the corner, the national park there, and we can go for a walk up and down the beach there, and you've got all manner of bird life, sea creatures and stuff. I mean, we were sitting here last night just on sunset, and there's dolphins cruising, just out through the bloody thing there, and then big crocodile went the other way. So there's plenty of stuff to look at as well, other than just fishing. It's a great place just to relax. I mean, we brought out Katie, my missus, and her sister, and it took us half a day to convince them to get back in the boat. They just wanted to kick back on the beach and have a drink and sit on the sand, So, which it's a very relaxing place, especially if you're working, if you're in King Ash Bay or Borroloola, it's just so far removed from that. The country's just so different. It's you stay in King Ash Bay and fish the rivers, which is great. You catch your barras and all your estuary species, but. If you get out here, it's just completely different. Nice blue, clear water. Beautiful countryside, all sandstone, rocky islands everywhere, and it's really not that hard to catch a fish. 99% of the time, you can go out and at least go and get a decent feed.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And except for the parcel of land that we're on here at Weeby, the rest of it is all national park, the whole of North Island, and it's it really is out of the entire island group. The rocky ridge line, the rock formations that are here, the very top of the islands. It's like Jurassic Park when you go up there and have a look at it. It's out of this world, really.
Yeah, we had a little look. I was having Ash let me have a little fish flick into the rocks up the very top of North Island yesterday, and some of I've never seen them that close, and some of the rocks. Are just beautiful and amazing. As you say, Jurassic Park is a good way to describe it.
And so, it's been fairly windy. This year, all this year, just about, it's been pretty windy. But, once you get out here, that's the thing. You might have coming across George's Channel or coming through Centre Channel might be a little bit breezy. But once you actually get here in the bay here, which is a massive big area, it's, 1 million acres of bay in here. And it doesn't really matter. Even if it's blowing like now, it's probably blowing 20 knots and it's still flat in here. So even with a small boat, you can still run around and you can catch mud crabs here in the bay.
Yep.
You can go across the points here and catch mangrove jack and barra and all that sort of stuff, enclosed coral trout, all that sort of stuff. So, you get the best of both worlds out here. Like if it is too rough to get right out the front and chase billfish or tuna or whatever, mackerel and that, you can come in here and do all that sort of stuff as well, eh?
Oh, absolutely. You got reef all the way up this long wall right before. Even if you go, it is blowing and you can't get out of here. You get coral trout, jacks all out through there. The bottom of the island, you catch good silver sea barra, and in the morning. And it doesn't generally blow all day windy. You'll get the morning or the afternoon. You'll get a half a day where you can get out. Generally speaking, so. It's you're not completely stormed in. So, there's always somewhere where you can fish here. Get your boat out of the wind, round the corner. Yep, there's plenty to do.
And so for people that were planning a trip to come here and come and stay out here with you, what would be the preferred time, do you think? What do you think's the best time of year?
Well,
I mean, obviously there's different, it doesn't really matter. You can come here any time of year, but what do you think's the preferred time?
Well, I think if you leave June, July out, I think it starts to heat up in August. I think once the weather starts to gets hot, the fishing really comes on, and the fish really go on the bite. So it's just the 3 winter months are probably not the ideal time, but we still catch a lot of fish. But just the hotter time is seems to be the red hot time for fishing from what I can gather.
Yeah. When you first came over here, everything was run off diesel generators.
Oh, that's it. And, the mighty Lister.
And for quite a few years, we brought plenty of people. Actually, we never even spoke about that. We actually brought Jeremy Wade out here from River Monsters.
Oh, we did, yeah.
So we've spoken about that on the podcast before, but that was a very interesting week, mate.
No, it definitely was. There was a bit of drama. It was a melodrama on all levels. It was a great week. It was fantastic. Those guys they came out of and it was really hot that November, as I remember it. They came out of a London winter, and they came here and it must have been 45 degrees here. It was stinking hot. Yep. And they suffered.
They melted.
They had a bag full of those hydrolyte tablets. They were popping them like Tic Tacs.
But they soldiered on. They kept going. But they did. And then we had the rescue. That was very lucky for Jermaine. He was a lucky boy that day. He was unbelievably lucky for that time of year. So
yeah.
Oh mate, that's it. I still can't. Yes. Still can't get over that one. That was unbelievable.
That was one out of the box. So
yeah, it was the weather was so hot at that time of year. Even remember when we would come back would be out filming with them with the whole crew. We would come back and Ash and I literally laid under these big tables here.
Yeah.
What do you got here? These are like bloody 4-inch thick redwood red gum.
Yeah, red gum. Yeah.
You brought these up from down south.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a bit of insulation for us. And Ash and I were literally laying on the rocks below just to try and cool down.
So the only thing I remember about all of that is how hot it was. Going, the joint was on fire. You just couldn't get away from it. I reckon that's the hottest year that we've had here. I can't remember any time hotter. But but those guys they got their job done. They got their film. They caught their cod in the end.
Yeah, massive groper.
Yeah. So it was all good.
Got the helicopter in the last day, mate.
That's right.
To do some filming. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah. No, it was...
mate hanging out the door there.
No, it was a good time, yeah.
You've had helicopters land on the beach here before?
Oh, no, we have. We had the boys from Brunette Downs here. We had 14 of them here, and they bought their own helicopter.
Yeah.
And a cut up bullock, and they that's all they had red meat and onions and tomato sauce 3 times a day, and fish like demons. They were unreal. And they sort of did a deal with themselves where they the guy that had the chopper, he'd take 3 guys out and they'd go heli fishing somewhere. So they all had their time in the heli, and the helicopter pilot's whinging that he was doing more work here than he does when he's supposed to be on holidays. Than he does when he's mastering cattle on the station. So they were here for a week or something, and he burned something like 800 litres of fuel in the chopper. But
wow.
No, we've had a few land here. So yeah.
So for groups like that, the lodge is just perfect setup. Like it's how would you describe it? It's very rustic, but still has all of the comforts of home.
Yeah. No,
like say behind us here, we've got a full kitchen in with big gas stove, oven, fridges, freezers. You can make all your own ice here. So you've got 240 volt power with your solar setup.
The new solar, it's fantastic.
Well, tell us about that, because that's what I was just leading into when I remembered about that River Monsters trip. But so years ago, you used to run Lister Peterson's and bloody.
We used to have the old Listers banging away down there for a few years, and then fuel started to go through the roof, and the price of solar came crashing down. So pretty well. So we did the changeover. We spent a few bob on it a couple of years ago, and it's been fantastic. So
it is great to be here, especially at night time when you're kicking back and having a conversation and. Yeah, it's just dead quiet. Oh,
for the first 2 nights after we had the solar, I couldn't sleep because the generator wasn't going. Because it would only ever, if it stopped, it would only ever stop in the middle of the night, and you'd bolt upright and go, oh, bloody hell, this generator stopped. What's wrong with it? And now they're just, it's good. And it's not only the price of the fuel, it's the fact of getting it out here. You've got to get it on the barge, get it out here, get the fuel off the barge up to the thing and then into the tank. And it was a chore. It really, really was. And now it's nothing. Just turn the lights on and it's life changing for us out here. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I suppose that'd be the biggest thing too is not having to cart the fuel and not just cart it out here, but then once you got it here, then you had to cart it up to the top of the hill where the generator is.
Yep.
in jerry cans or 44s.
No, that's right. It was a chore, like just keeping the thing going, and then you're a slave to them. You got to do the service and all the rest of it. And look, they did a great job. They did a great job for many years. But I'm glad I don't have to do it anymore. I don't miss it.
So looking around here now, so we're sitting, in the main sort of area of the top house, where the dining area, what do you call it, the common area? Yep. You've got these big trees here. What are these trees here?
They're tamarins. They're planted here by the Macassans. This spot here used to be a Macassan site where they came down from Indonesia and processed. They used to catch the sea slug, and process them here. They're all around the top of Australia there.
So sea slugs are the trepang.
The trepang. I think they dried them and I think they salted them and I believe they used to sell them to the Chinese. So, but they were here for some 400 years prior to white settlement. So, it's quite a historic site, really. So.
And there's a few places like this around here, and I think there's even some old. Not that there's much left now, but there's maybe some because they used to boil them or something, didn't they?
Well, I think they did. I think they boiled them with the tamarins, and then I think they dried them.
Yep.
And the tamarins, it's very bitter, and I think the tamarin.
So that tree, the tamarin tree fruits, does it?
Yeah, it does. It makes like a pod, and it looks like a pea, but it's a furry pea pod. That's what it looks like when they do fruit, and but it's a very bitter taste, and I don't know exactly how they did it, but I think they boiled them in those, and then they would sun dry them, and then they'd off they'd go to China. But so there's a rock around there, and they must have ground them up because there's all big grind holes in the rock. They must have ground up the tamarins. So and the tamarins are here. They're all they're sort of all across the top of North Island. So and then they're an Indonesian tree.
Yeah, so because the Macassans is obviously from Makassar, which is up there in like the Banda Sea, up to they're just east of Indonesia.
Well, I think it's modern day Indonesia now.
Okay,
I think it is. Yeah.
So they'd come down on the trade winds. They'd come down on the trade winds in the build up time. So say October, November, when you get the northerlies, northwesterlies, they'd come down then. And spend the wet season here.
Yep.
And processing all the.
Yep. And then when the wind turned, they'd go back. So they were huge seafarers to travel.
Yes, they would have had to stay here months at a time.
Oh yeah. Oh absolutely. Yeah.
Just to wait for the wind to change to get back home.
Yeah, wait for the southeast.
And all the way through to China to sell to the Chinese.
Yeah. So they must.
So Australia's been exporting to China for a fair while then.
So they must be worth a few bob, I reckon.
Yeah.
And we caught one once, and we were thinking. Stevie Kalungadu and I, and we're looking at it, we're going, they all come down from Indonesia for these things, and thinking we're looking at it in the bucket to go, well, we'll cook it or we'll do something with it. We'll have a go at it. Anyway, he couldn't think what to do with it, and neither could I, because they're not a very attractive looking thing.
No. Mullet's got a bit of a party trick with him.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We have to do it in the uncensored version. Yeah.
Anyway, so we had it a couple of days in a bucket, and anyway, we finished up throwing it away, going, oh no, I don't know. I didn't even want to touch it. It's just
yeah, so for people that don't know, if you don't want to go Google it, looks like a big turd, basically.
Yeah. And it's a bad colour too. It's just got nothing going for it.
No. How they came all the way here to find these things just to dry them out, take it back to China. All the things we have here, mate, like the tropical rock lobster and prawns and mud crabs and barramundi.
Coral trout, something like that. Take that back.
No, we'll take these sea slugs back. So
that's what we thought. Oh, well, it must be really good because they've come a long way to get them, and we're poking at it, and then
bloody hell. Oh, well, that's good because I was going to ask you about a bit of the history around the place, and that was, a nice segue into that, mate. So, plans for the future? You got any sort of ideas?
Oh, no, not really. I think I've done all the things that I want to do here. I think I'm just going to kick back now and just enjoy the place. Really, I like being here. I like doing what we do, and my darling wife, she likes it as well. So that's as they say, a happy wife is a good life. So it's all pretty well done. So. Yeah, well, Megan gave us a bit of knocked us for a bit of a loop. So
Yeah, so the Cyclone Megan a few months ago, that came straight through here.
Yep.
How is this place still standing? That's my question.
oh, they're built. These sheds are 30 years old, but they're really really built. You look at the rafters. They're built to maintain us through a cyclone. So.
Yeah.
But all this blew away. All this
So
blew
you did have
over
some
the top,
damage, yeah.
Oh, we did a little bit, but no real structural damage. No, we didn't lose a roof or anything, and it could have been worse. Even the new house I built up there, which I thought would have blown into the gully over the back. I'm thinking, oh no. And I it is much work to it to keep it cyclone proof as I could. And I come around the corner and it was still there. I was amazed. I think, thank God for that. So,
would have been a stressful time for you, mate, though, when the cyclone was coming, because it went pretty well straight over the top of you. So.
Oh, it did. It came pretty well straight through here, and I came around and got a friend of mine was driving a boat, and I sat in there. I didn't want to come out. I sat in King Ash Bay for a week and going, we've got to go to Weeby. So I don't want to go.
I don't want to see it. Yeah.
I'm trying to go. Anyway, so we come around the corner. And I'm going around the corner, and there's two hills. There's that one round there, around the back of the island, and this ridge here. And I've come around the corner, and I've seen the ridge, and I've gone, oh, they're all gone. All the houses are gone. I sort of had a blind panic straight away, and I'm looking at the wrong bloody hill. And I come around the corner, and they're all there. So that let me off the hook a lot. I just absolutely nothing. Nothing like a big cyclone to show you your human frailties, really.
Perfect.
If someone was interested in coming out here and wanted to get in contact with you,
definitely. Just look on Facebook. We've got a heap of stuff on Facebook. Wiyibi Lodge. Just dial that in, and we got all our contact details there. Email, phone, everything. Just give us a ring.
Yeah.
And Weeby is Wiyibi.
That's it. Yep, Wiyibi Lodge.
Well,
Yep.
And the name's sort of interchangeable. We call it Weeby, but it's Wiyibi.
Well, I think that's how you say it. Wiyibi. Yeah,
Wiyibi.
It's spelled a bit different on the map. It's WEBE on the map.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just read something somewhere where they spelt it that way, and I thought that was a little bit more imaginative. So that's why I went with that one.
Yeah, so the name sort of, you'll hear us through the podcast at the start. I think I want to introduce it. I called it Wiyibi, and then throughout it we've called it Weeby.
Yeah.
So same place, but Wiyibi.
Yeah, you sort of pinch it, Wiyibi Lodge. So like the traditional guys sort of call it. Yeah, so I like the way that they call it Weeby. It's very good.
So how's the rest of the year looking for you, mate? I know it's been quite a little bit at the moment, but when do you start picking up in August? Picks up?
No, we've got bookings from probably early in August right through to the end of the year. So we're looking pretty good for the last 3 months. Megan cost us sort of 6 months, and we had a lot of cancellations. Not that you can blame those guys, because I think as a working bloke, your holiday time is very important. And you don't want to be mucked around. So the road was closed into King Ash, and the King Ash Bay itself was closed for a long time. So that's the jumping off point for here. There's no other way really to get here. So we just sort of copped that on the chin. You can't do anything about it. So from now on we're looking pretty good. So the cyclone was a little bit disconcerting, but it could have been a lot worse. So
Awesome. All right, well, there's something on the podcast we like to do each week, which is we've got a music playlist called Golf Mudcrabbers on Spotify, and we like to nominate a song and invite our guests to nominate a song. Do you want to go first?
We've given you some pre-warning notes.
Yes, no, I've been warned not to.
In the Navy's out.
Yeah, and Let's Go Fly a Kite is out.
Yeah, okay. No, look, I've got a song, and it's very appropriate for this area. So, from a band called The Stars, from an Adelaide band, and it's called The Last of the Riverboats, and it's a pretty good tune, really. Yeah, I used to like that back in the day. So
Yeah, I remember
Beautiful.
you introduced that song to us years ago now.
Yeah.
We used to play it down at the club late at night when most
late.
of the punters have gone home, and Brett would be like, "Oh, put on Last of the Riverboats."
Late, really late.
In fact, I can't remember what staff it was, but there was certain staff members that would be their last song they play before they shut.
Yeah.
I can't remember who that would have been.
Maybe Heather or something like that.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Oh, back in the yeah, it probably was Heather. No, she was she was pretty good. she was out there.
You got a song, mate?
I do, mate. Again, I think it's fairly appropriate for here. It's another Australian artist, mate, Graham Connors, North.
Yeah, cool. Tell us about that.
It's a song about, the lyrics are move a little bit further north each year and talks about fishing, with a 6-pack and a fishing line down the creek. And
Perfect.
yeah, I don't know, bit of Australiana.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, well, I'm nominating the song I wanted to nominate last week, which I couldn't think of the bloody name of it, but it's Chris Stapleton, Cold. Reason is just it's a really good song, and I love it.
And I don't think there's any Stapleton in there.
Yeah, we tried to work it. We don't think there might be one other Stapleton song, but it's a bit of a black hole in the playlist that needs to have a few. So I think we might have 8 Luke Combs songs, for example.
Yeah.
So we just need to branch out a bit. I'll try not to do wobbly ones for a few weeks. Put some normal songs in.
Perfect.
Cool.
Yeah. If I can, I'd just like to say thanks to our traditional owners, Linda and Stephanie, for all of this, and that's it. Just to recognise them, just to put something on record.
Yeah,
So,
awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah, cool.
I know we're going to go and try and maybe push that boat off the sand, so we don't get stuck.
Yeah, sounds good.
yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Brett. Thanks for having us out here.
Thanks very much for coming out. I appreciate it.
It's always a wonderful spot out here, and we'll catch you next week, I guess.
Cool bananas.
We'll be back again, mate.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Well, I'm not going anywhere.
Good on you, mate. Right, let's shut it down, bro.
Shut it down.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I see that. Oh, look at that.
Oh, beauty!
Guys in the Gulf.